Now yes, that one. Now let us run this code and let us see the output. So what is the main method corresponding class? It is A, guys. Okay, now let me run. Getting 999. Now I hope you get this one. Okay, now observe here within this class, let me put int abc equals to minus 999. Now observe here. Okay, observe this part carefully, just a little. Okay, just a little. Let me brush it once so that you can be good. Okay, now observe here. Okay, now class A. Now int I equals to 999. Okay, now what is this? A primitive variable or not? Yes, by short int is here, primitive variable. Now what is this class? Skeleton, that is principals, all of these things. That is capital A is what? User defined data type. Now user defined data type literal or object will be in this way. Within this you are initializing triple, that is minus 999. To initialize this one, to initialize that one for user defined object, getting you require constructor. Without constructor we cannot achieve that one. Okay, now that's why at the dot class file, this class will be having int I, getting, and within the constructor there will be initialization, getting, there will be initialization. Okay, observe here, I'll show this one. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, now take this entire thing. Okay, now observe, compile this source code once again, go for the a dot class file. Observe here abc, where it is performing initialization to primitive data type within the constructor. Okay, now okay, I hope you get this one. Okay, now observe this part carefully. Now let us go for understanding this particular abstract class constructor. Okay, now observe this part carefully. What the answer you have given to this one? What the answer you have given to this one? What is the answer? Simple, one line, that's it, it will finish. But understanding internals is the difficult. Okay, observe, what is the answer to that particular question? Abstract class constructor, getting, will be maintained within the abstract class. That is, a constructor will be maintained within the abstract class for child class object creation, and it will execute at child class object creation. Okay, so observe here. Okay, so this constructor, okay, this constructor is maintained for the child class object creation. Meaning is what? To initialize the data at the time of child object creation. Getting, guys? To initialize this one, it is executing for child object creation, but it will not execute for its class. Getting? So this constructor is maintained for what is this? For the child class object creation, and but not for its class object. Getting? But not for its object. Getting? Observe here. Okay, and as I said that maintained for child class object creation. Here child class object creation means maintenance, and child class object creation means simple thing, it will execute for the child class object creation. Okay, now observe here, you said that execute, so it is going to execute at the time of object creation of child class. Now what is the code to create an object for child class? These two words with some special characters. Okay, now observe here, when it gets executed, this class constructor also should get executed. Now this base, now this one, this is the dot class file, base dot class file, this one only available to this dot class file. Okay, now observe here, I said that this constructor is maintained for child class object creation, but not for its class object. Okay, what is the meaning of this one? It will execute for child class object creation. I will prove this one. Observe here, just go, and even though you are not writing any constructor within abstract class, if there is any primitive data type variable initialization, it will write the constructor in this way, right? Now let us customize it, nothing wrong. Okay, now observe this code. Okay, now I am going to customize it. Int I equals to 999. Now base class constructor. Okay, now SOP of get class. I want to know which object is there currently at memory. What this get class method will return? Current object created. Okay, current object class, current object class at memory. It will give which object created at memory, that object class only it will use, that object type strictly. What is this? Base means what? Type. So if I use within this constructor, this one get class, it will give current object class. Now what is the current object here? Child class. You should get class A here. If you are getting that output, you can tell that with confidence it will execute for child class object, but not for parent class object, that is but not for abstract class object. Okay, now observe here. Now what will be the output here? Simple thing, class A or just A. Okay, I hope class A will be the output. Of course A will be definite. Okay, A will be definite and followed by 999. It gives the proof to us this base class constructor, that is abstract class constructor, execute for child object creation. Why it has to execute for child object creation? Simple thing, because of inheritance. Inheritance means what? If you create an object for this one, it should have all the properties of parent. So first they should initialize to variables, then only you can use those things, parent properties at a child object ready-madely. So to perform initialization to these primitive variables within a user defined data type or within the class, okay, you must use constructor. Now let me compile and execute this piece of code. Observe, just a minute guys. Okay, observe this part carefully. Okay, observe this part carefully. Now let me use a base constructor system.out. Println, what is that? Get class. Okay, now observe. Now compile this piece of code, compilation successful, and run this main method corresponding class. Okay, now observe this part. Observe, what is this? Class A. Where is this code? Within the base class. Where is this code? Within the base class. Observe this part. Within the base class only this code is available. Get class. So it gives the meaning to you as what? As what? Object which, this constructor of abstract class execute for child object creation. Getting? That is to perform initialization of variables which are available within the parent class. Getting? That's the meaning. And some of the programmers prove this one in different way also. Observe here. Now I am going to use one more small thing. What is that means? We are having one method called hash code within the object class. Hash code means what is the unique identifier given to the object at memory. Okay. Now observe here. To prove parent class object not created at child class object creation. What is that? To prove parent class object not created at the time of child object creation. At the time of child object creation, we are going to use one more predefined method. Observe here. Okay, what is that? Observe. What is that? To prove parent class object not created at the time of child object creation. Okay, we are going to use this code. Observe here. Okay, observe here. Same thing. Now here, yes mister, you are telling to me this is what? Abstract. So that's why it is not getting executed for abstract class. Now at the time of creating child class object, class base. Okay, now int I equals to 999. Now class A extends base. Okay, and now public static void main string array. Now let it be A equals to new A, SOP of what? A dot I. Now how many objects created at memory because of this code? Observe this one. It is not an abstract, just a plain class. Getting? A is the child for base class, but not abstract, just a concrete class. Now how many objects created at memory? Only one object. Which object? Child object. How? We are using new keyword followed by a constructor. So one object, right? Of course, how to prove this one? Technically. Okay, of course we cannot prove all the things, but to understand the concept, let us prove some few things. Okay, now if I do create and if I do compile this piece of code, output is what? 999, no doubt in it. Okay, now observe. Let me modify this. Okay, now because of this code, what happens at memory? Child object only created. For this one there will be one unique number. This number is unknown to us, even we don't know. Okay, and observe here, this base class is having I. Through inheritance, whatever this class is having, that will be available to this class. Now to initialize this variable, once again constructor of this base class required to us, and we have understood that one. Now we are proving which thing? At the time of child object creation, no parent class object will create. Now observe here. Now first let me compile this piece of code so that you can be confident. Later I go for modifications and I will prove. Okay, now observe this part. Okay, what is that? Instead of abstract, avoid what? Nothing. Okay, now take out this one, class B. Yes, now you will get the output here as what? 999. Still you will get the output as what? Observe this part, 999. No issues here. Okay, now observe this part. Let me modify this code a little. Let me modify this code a little, guys. Okay, observe this part. And now once again here there will be base constructor followed by I equals to 999. Getting? This won't be there at our dot class file. Observe here once again. Observe that part. Okay, observe that. Observe it very carefully. Okay, observe here. What is that? Base. It is what? Just normal class. Even though I perform initialization within the single statement, it is perform initialization within the constructor. Why? Base is the user defined data type. Getting? That's why to initialize the data for user object, that must and should be performed within the object. What is that? To perform initialization to user object, that should be done by using constructor only. Okay, now observe this part carefully. Okay, now let me rewrite this code a little. Okay, rewrite this code a little. Now class base. Okay, now int I, okay, equals to 999. Of course it will rewrite this code even if I write the constructor. Now observe base constructor, right? Base constructor. Okay, base constructor. Okay, base constructor. To this one, I said to you one thing. For an object there will be unique number, getting, for identification, but this is not exact address in Java. Getting? So how to get this unique number? It can be 6789 or it can be 43567, any number. Getting? So how to get this number for a current object at memory? For current object at memory, how to get means in object class. Getting? In class called object, you are having one method called hash code method. Getting? Which is having some internal implementations to return what? Integer number which represents this particular unique identity for the current object at memory. Getting, guys? Object class is having this implementation. Okay, that is hash code method. This method always returns what? Current objects identity number at memory, guys. Current objects identity number at memory. Getting? Now observe this part carefully. Okay, now let me use SOP of hash code. Getting? Hash code. Observe. Okay, now let me close this one. Okay, let me close this one.